Hello, this is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net with my Panther review. This year, the Panthers sweep the Bucks. No split of the series. This gives the Panthers 3 wins in a row, 6 out of 8, I think 12 out of 18, and essentially this means a whole lot of us getting our asses owned by our NFC South opponents from the relative north. So big kudos to Big Nick 2700 and Carolina Pace and Panther Guru and all the people over at Panther Nation. Our collective Buccaneer hats are off to you folks for completing the season sweep. As you can tell, I am donning the recently clarified electric blue Panther hat in absolute and utter disgust. But as I think about what I have to do to try and give a very positive spin to a game that was mediocre in almost every regard, one name just leaps to mind, and that is Beeson. This guy is an animal. And you guys know that I've said that Carolina is a mediocre to bad team. I have been very honest and upfront that we are a very bad team. But with regards to individual talent and superior skills, John Beeson is just a hell of a football player. I don't give a shit who he plays for. And he happens to play for Carolina, which makes me sad because that means I have to see him twice a year because he is an animal. You had a lot of guys who stepped up, actually, in the game this week at Bank of America Stadium. Jonathan Stewart, with D'Angelo Williams out, came out, had 2 great possessions, racked up a bunch of yards early. I think he ended up with about a $120. We were wondering if the Bucs could hold you guys to under 150 yards, since 2 of your best rushing days out of the top 3 were against the Buccaneers last year on Monday Night Football, and this year here in Tampa, I think it was 299 and 267. Our defense obviously has been retooled. The first 2 drives, we thought, holy shit, it's the same thing all over again. You guys are going to run the ball right down our throats constantly. You're going to take the pressure off of your young signal caller, Matt Moore, and it's going to be a long, long day for the Bucs. Defense tightened up. I think everyone was a little bit surprised by that, including us. But it was not enough. The defense played hard, held you guys to 16 points. You guys got your 10 points early. And after that, not a whole lot. It was tough sledding. You had a big pass play to Steve Smith. You guys got essentially man coverage, which it shouldn't have been. There should have been safety help over the top. But Sabby Piscatelli did not rotate when Tanar Jackson came up to do whatever the hell he was doing. I don't know if he was filling on the run or what he read, but Sabby should have rotated over because we wanted to leave Rondé man up on Moose. We'll take that matchup a lot quicker than we'll take Elmer Mack on Steve Smith. He hit that 66-yard pass play, which set up another field goal for John Casey. So your kicker actually understands the concept of kicking between the uprights. Our kickers seem to only get that about once every 3rd game. So I wish that I could pile a bunch of stats other than the score, 16-6. It all comes down to wins and losses, right? So I may not like Big Nick's video. I may not think it was an ass kicking, but I can certainly see the angle of any time you let a team get inside your 30 8 times and they come away with 6 points, you're either doing something really well on defense or they're doing something really poorly on offense. And I think there was a combination of those things. Your defense stiffened up significantly inside of the 30 and certainly inside of the 20 in the red zone. And our young signal caller, Josh Freeman, had his worst day yet as a pro. Made some very, very bad decisions. I think he was assisted in these bad decisions by someone who I like to think is the worst offensive coordinator in football, Greg Olson. And I will be rebuffed instantly by Bucs fans who say, no, you can't pile up 469 yards of offense and not know how to play call. Except if you realize that 469 yards don't get you any fucking points, then you realize that the play calling inside the red zone was pretty damn bad. Especially when your running game is averaging about 5.5 yards a clip. Now, Big Nick, I know some of this is old hat for you because you heard me talking about this on What the Buck tonight, but this is the review for YouTube, so I got to go over this again. All in all, statistically, if you look at the sheets other than the score and the 5 interceptions, the Bucs should have won this game. But, and I think it is Collette, GK, who says stats are just numbers on a sheet or something to that effect. I just butchered that quote, but it's late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. The only stat that mattered was 16-6. That's a shame for us Bucs fans. But we can't take a thing away from the Panthers. You guys did enough to get the win, and bad teams find ways to lose games. And we were the worst team on the field. and that is a shame for us Bucs fans. So hats off to you guys. I think Matt Moore looks good. I think he's efficient. He needs some more starts, obviously, but I'm not a Jake fan. So as a fellow fan of football, I wish you guys well with Matt. I suspect you guys will go try and get someone with a little bit bigger sort of marquee value than Matt Moore to be the signal caller. But with both your backs back, that offense is potent again. I did hear a rumor today that they may be looking to move Delhomme and Steve Smith somewhere from some folks who are at Bank of America. I had not heard that before, and I'd love to hear from Panther Nation if that's something that might be true, that Steve may have run his course in Carolina. But, with regards to the game, like I said, I can look at the stats. Jay Stu, got his century mark. Matt Moore didn't do anything to hurt you guys. The one interception, Tanar Jackson made a nice play, reading the actual offense, tipping the ball. Geno Hayes made the pick. That's not really on Matt Moore. That's a good play by Tanar Jackson. Unlike our 5 interceptions, that one wasn't on your QB. I know that the Panther fans sounded very unhappy with all the running that was going on, but you guys were methodical. You guys knew what you needed to do, and you grounded out. And that's what a good team does. Now, again, this is a bit of a crow video, so I don't want to get too hard on you with regards to good team, bad team. Mathematically, y'all are still in the playoff hunt, but I don't think any of us are pretending that this season's any good for either one of our franchises. This year is all about New Orleans. Atlanta went and stunk up the place with Philadelphia, so I think the rest of the NFC South is going to sit in the pile in the bottom while we all rebuild. Atlanta doesn't have to rebuild. They just got to get healthy. And you guys have a strong foundation. So hats off to the Carolina Panthers for sweeping us, winning 3 in a row. Big Nick, I know you're happy about that. Clifton Smith went out again. Incidental contact when he was trying to cover a kick. He shouldn't have even been out there. He was out there because Torrey Cox was out. He got injured the week before. So our stud special teams guy wasn't even back there. But, hey, you got to play with the guys who you got. Sammy Strouder did a good job returning kicks. But none of it was enough. Nothing we did was enough. We got down inside the 23 times. Picks, Beeson with 2. Harris with 1. Godfrey with 1, I think. I can't remember who got the 5th one. I lost track of it, to be quite honest. But that defense, boy, it stiffened up. It reminded me of the Tampa defenses of old. To let people run 20-20 all you want, but you're not going to get in the end zone. And so 469 yards of offense, 154 yards on the ground. You only outgained us by 3 yards on the ground, 315 yards through the air, and 0 of 4 in the red zone. 0 of 4. We came in the second best team in the NFL in the red zone. Now, admittedly, we didn't get in the red zone very often, but when we did, we generally scored, and we were 0% in the red zone. And that doesn't get it done. So I have to wait till next year for a chance to see Big Nick rocking either the creamsicle hat, which he says he's going to find, or a red and pewter hat. I don't really care. I just would like to see us win some games. But rivalry is over this year for the Carolina Panthers and the Bucs. And appreciate you Panthers fans who tune in to listen to it. And we're going to continue to see what we can do the rest of this year and try and salvage what we can. And then back to the drawing board to see what we can do for next season and hopefully make the NFC South more competitive as a group. So thanks for listening. Rate this up. And we'll see you guys, next season, unless you guys want to come over and check out the stuff with the rest of the teams around the league.